This is the second video in the series entitled Angels and Masters. Right now, I'm going to give you some associations of colors with angels and masters. I'm going to be referencing a few charts, so forgive me for reading occasionally. Okay, well, let me first say this. A long time ago, there were angels and masters that resonated with red, orange, yellow, blue, green, indigo, and currently we're in the age or the period where we're learning the lessons of violet, purity, and transformation. That's why we have a lot of secrets coming out, secrets about dark things hidden in our government, our own personal lives, things that in the banking industry that have been secret. And it's coming out to be transformed. In the same way, the earth is also releasing negative earth energies, which we perceive as unusual and violent weather patterns. So now that we're in the age of transmutation or violet, we're not going to go back to red, but we'll start to infuse white light into the rainbow colors. So the next stage will be not that of red, starting the rainbow over again, but it will be that of pink, and then light orange, lemon yellow, lime green, light blue, etc. So here are the ascended masters in angel associated with pink, the pink ray. Kuan Yin, Mary Magdalene, Mother Mary, Dom Ignacio, Paul the Venetian, Krishna, I'm not sure how to pronounce this, Vajrakilaya, and Maat. The angel associated with pink is Shamuel. Ascended masters associated with yellow, Eros, god of love, Helios, Sunat Kumara, when we think of his god, Jesus, Kuthumi, Lao Tzu, Lanto, Serapis Bey, Pallas Athena, Lady Nada, Hathor, Krishna, Manjushri, Amaryllis, and Omega. Angels, Aloha, Elohim of the sixth ray, Christine, Archangel of the second ray, the Diva of light, the Diva of the central sun, Lumina, Elohim of the second ray, and Archangel Jophiel. Okay. Green, the Mahakala, Amaryllis, Hilarion, Buddha, and green would also be Archangel Raphael. Blue, Metatron, Mahakala, Eros, Elmoria, Osiris, Melchizedek, John the Baptist, Mother Mary, Kuthumi, he also has a little blue in his aura. Jesus also has a little blue in his aura. El Moria, and again, his aura has just a bit of blue as well. Angels, Archangel Charity, Eros, who's an Elohim, and Archangel Michael. Okay. Violet, Saint Germain, Chohan of the seventh ray, Ramun, Pallas Athena, Isis, Paul the Venetian, Aloha. Archangels, Arcturus, Archangel Uriel, and Archangel Zadkiel. With the orange are some of, like the Dalai Lama, Sri Swamiji, Sakananda Ganapati, many of the Tibetan and Hindu masters. Ascended masters and angels of other rays. Now, what are other rays other than the rainbow rays. Notice that after we completed the rainbow, we then started to infuse it with white light and making red pink, for example. Think of enlightenment and evolution. Compare it to a job structure. You're an employee, then you're supervisor, then your manager, then you're a director, then you're CEO, then you're a stockholder, etc. Likewise, you're in our position, ascended master, and then as you go up different dimensions by adding more and more mastery of more and more light, your aura becomes more clear and has silver or metallic colors. Often it will have flashes of white light and maybe rainbow colors or other colors. As these beings evolve and get very big and very powerful and their consciousness expands, you'll find that they're more interested in bigger tasks. So the angel that's with us day by day is not someone way up the pecking chain as a role, but is someone that's very interested in helping you get through that test, helping you resolve that argument, personal things. The planetary directors, the people further up the line, are more interested in working with people as team members to heal the entire earth. They're looking for a partner in earthwork and work for great hunks of humanity. Okay, here we go. Beings with silver in their aura. Charity, alpha. And metallic colors would also, silver metallic would also be Paul the Venetian, Pallas Athena, the Mahachohan, and Cryon. Rainbow flashes in their aura, Sanat Kumara, white Tara, Elohim of the eighth ray. White auras, Archangel Gabriel, Serapis Bey, John the Baptist, Paul the Venetian, Melchizedek, Lord Lanto, Lady Nada, Osiris, Metatron, Diva the seventh ray, Maat, Alpha, Amaryllis, Archangel Charity, Archangel Christine, Elohim of the eighth ray, Lumina and Krishna. Clear auras, Kuthumi, Sanat Kumara, and gold. Serapis Bey has gold and white. Mahachohan, he has some gold and silver in his aura. Ascended masters have been human at one time. And I don't know about you, but I like this and I like that. And so I learned some mastery of red, and then I learned some mastery of orange, and isn't blue pretty? Just like I like to wear all the colors, I like to experiment with all the motions and dabble in this and dabble in that. Being a painter, I like to have all the rainbow colors at my disposal, and I play around with all of them. Likewise, you find that the auras of ascended masters are primarily one color, with little splashes of other colors, representing mastery in other frequency ranges. Angels, in contrast, are one pure color. Archangel Michael's aura is blue and only blue. Angels are bent on serving, and when they incarnate as a human, you can recognize them as they have troubles balancing in their life. They get a goal and they just like dig in and they can't quite be appropriate and stop. They're workaholics. They're driven. They're going to accomplish this. They have troubles focusing on everything once they kind of like get a goal in their pathway. It's very much like an angel. Very pure and staying on task. Now they're full of white light, so they have mastery and understanding of all the colors. But they are somewhat different than ascended masters in that way. And when you see an aura, or you talk about working with a frequency range, your angels would be the most concentrated. of that aura. Okay, I'm going to talk about just some rays of angels. Archangel Michael, who's blue, G sharp, he is very good at helping us with protection against physical, astral danger, fear, self-doubts. Archangel Jophiel, representing yellow for E, illumination. He helps addictions, memory, decisions, exposes secrets, fights pollutant. Archangel Shamuel, pink, C, love. He helps with communications, mercy, forgiveness, understanding, relationships, friends, finding objects and jobs, guilt, low esteem, truth and balance, contentness with Shamuel. Gabriel, white, musical notes between B and C, according to Sherry Edwards. Guidance is his primary service. He helps organize. He's supportive of education, careers, life purposes, joy, and fulfillment. Okay, I think I have some more here. Raphael, F sharp, green, healing. Heals the body, the mind, the soul. He's helpful in finding food, shelter, music, and accepting the truth. Uriel, purple and gold, A sharp and D, peace. Personal, social, and professional relationships, letting go of bitterness, renewing hope and justice. Zadkiel, violet, A sharp, joy. Actors, writers, performers, architects, and engineers. Ariel, clear with yellow flecks. Musical note E, freedom, power within. Run freely. Break through obstacles with ease. Indomitable spirit. Protections of the kingdom, such as nature, animals, fairies, and divas. Okay, remember now, we're going to just summarize that angels and masters correlate to the rays, meaning certain emotions, thoughts, feelings, frequencies, and colors. For sake of convenience, we're going to talk about the colors to identify them or their skills. And their differences is that the ascended masters have been human, angels have not. Therefore, the ascended masters understand duality. They understand the joy in having a cup of coffee, of smelling pumpkin pie, of smelling the fresh breeze in the sunset. Whereas the angels are more pure, they don't so much relate to our senses. The angels seek to serve, whereas us humans like to experience, we're curious, we like to try different things. So anyway, for those reasons, sometimes you might choose to work with an angel versus a master, or different, or so, or vice versa. Ascended masters. I'm just going to talk about some of the recent history with ascended masters, coming in with theosophy at the turn of the last century in England, around the 1800s in Europe. The Great Right Brotherhood worked with Helena Blavatsky, Alice Bailey, Charles Leadbeater, Alice Sinnett, Olcott, Rudolf Steiner. Some of the masters that were working with these people were Sanat Kumara, Jesus, Kuthumi, Buddha, Maitreya, Confucius, Lord Lanto, Mother Mary, Lady Nada, Enoch, Kuan Yin, Saint Germain. The movement kind of was reborn again with the I Am movement with Guy Ballard in the United States and Elizabeth Clare Prophet in the 1900s in the USA. The Atlantean masters are many of the masters that I mentioned when I read those lists, and I will make those lists available in the attachments as well, so you don't have to, go back and do the video so many times. But many of the masters that I gave were the early masters of Atlantis. In the beginning years of Atlantis, people were very evolved, not even Homo sapiens, far more clairaudient and clairvoyant. We had very evolved masters working with humanity at that time. Throughout Atlantis' history, we evolved into matter to get different strengths and experiences. As we did this, we needed different masters that were able to give us the skills in matter, less spiritual, less powerful, more skills associated to duality in our situation. Now that the Platonic year has come to pass and we're entering a new golden age, the original masters have returned, or at least many of them. And many of the masters that I've read were from Atlantis. Paul the Venetian, Lady Nada, Lord Lanto, Maitreya, etc. There's quite a few of them that were these very powerful Atlantean masters. I find that many people are not aware of them, and perhaps they're not popular only in that people don't know of them. But many of the masters that I read to you and associated with colors are very powerful. And please feel free to work with their energies. It's a fabulous treat. Okay. I'm going to go back to the information from the Kabbalah, where they, in the Bible, the Jewish tradition, where they talk about different levels of ascended masters. They talk about, wait a minute, I gotta get my proper page out here to read to you. Sorry. I hope I have it here. Don't know that I do. Well, they talk about, I'll just simply have to do that, find that sheet and get back with you later on in the video. Okay, so we're going to move on. My apologies. We're going to talk about us selecting which angels and masters work with us. You may choose angels and masters for the same frequency that you resonate with. That would be an excellent choice. You may want to pay attention to your color and your complementary color. As we said before, as you learn the lessons of blue, that affects your mastery of orange or complementary colors. So if you primarily enjoy angels, let's say violet, I would suggest you also work with angels and masters of gold. Also pay attention to the colors right next. Like blue, I would also consider working with blue-green or blue-yellow. Is that right? Blue-green, blue-violet. Excuse me, I thought that wasn't right. Okay. Because sometimes when you learn a different lesson, you just shift next door. Rarely you might jump around the color chart. I have seen that happen with people, not very often. Me, for example, I was born in A and I shifted to G sharp right next door. I would also note, are there any angels or masters that you've loved or liked their pictures or have just been fascinated with? Would definitely consider selecting them. Okay, the other way to select angels and masters is to look at your health issues. And then you can go to Sherry Edwards' chart, showing you the frequencies of different issues in your body or personality issues. For example, I have the strengths and weaknesses associated with blue, my color, go figure. So therefore, working with angels and masters of blue and orange are really good for me, orange being the complementary color. You may want to pick like a pantheon. In a little bit, we're going to do an exercise and we're going to allow angels and masters to appear to us. This may be the group you want to use, or you might want to ask for certain colors or pick certain colors that are important to you and then go through the charts and decide if this, like if there's 3 or 4 in yellow, just see if you're attracted to one of those or spent time liking one of those. Pick the one you like. So we're going to have you come up with, note, and chart all the colors of all the angels and the masters in your group, your posse, your soul group, your advisory council, whatever you want to call it. Okay, now we're going to do an exercise. It's a meditation. Please close your eyes and do the meditation with me. We're walking on a beach, and as we walk, we can feel the sun on our back. We can feel the wind and the water in the air. You hear the birds, seagulls squawking, people talking, and the waves going in, out, going in, out, going in, out. We sit down and we start to breathe with the waves. In, out, in, breathe out. I want you to imagine the color of your car or the color of your front door. Just imagine it. That's all the skill you need for this exercise. Now, we're going to simply imagine a color. Right now, just imagine a color using only the skills that you used, imagining your car or a front door. So imagine a color and go with the first color you imagine. No changing. See the color that you imagined. Imagine it fuller and richer. Now go beneath the feeling of the color. Go deeper. What does it feel like? Said differently, how do you feel in the depth of this color? How do you feel right now? Now we're going to notice our senses. What kind of information is coming into you right now while we're imagining being surrounded with this color? Do you smell anything? Do you taste anything? Hear anything? Feel anything? Or see anything? Perhaps you imagine a seashell, or an object, or a being. The color now fades, and we can imagine a being underneath. What does your being look like? Look at the feet. Now look up to see what the being is wearing. Now look at the whole being. Do you recognize the being? What does the being feel like? Perchance you can't imagine anything. No problem. Just notice what you feel like right now. That's fine. Does the being have a message for you? We're going to imagine that this color is available to us always. This being is available to us always, accompanying us in all ways, and is off to our front left, as if we have a color palette surrounding us. And that is the position of that color. Breathe in the energy of that being. Feels so good. Now let it fade and remember. Now we're going to imagine a color directly to our left. What color do you imagine? How does it feel? Go deeper. How does it feel? Do you recognize it? Take note of your senses, one by one. Do you hear anything? Smell anything? Feel anything? Sense anything? Smell anything? Taste anything? Do you see an object or a thing? Do you see anything at all? Do you see a being? The color fades, and now we see the being behind the color. Do you know this being? Is the feeling familiar? Is there a message for you? Breathe it in. Breathe in this energy. And remember. Now we're going to imagine a color to our back left. What color do you imagine? How does it feel? Go very deep, deeper. Check your senses. Smelling, hearing, tasting, touching. Do you notice anything in any of your senses at this time? Do you imagine anything? A thing, an object, a place, a being. The color fades, and we see a being. Does this being have a message for you? Breathe it in. Remember. The color fades, and we're now going to imagine a color off to our front right. What color do you imagine? How do you feel while imagining this color? Have you felt it before? Now we're going to notice our senses, information coming in to help us. Do you smell anything? Hear anything? taste, touch, and sight. You see anything, and it's okay if you see nothing. Just pay attention to your feelings. Let the color fade, and there's the being that has been there all along. Look at its feet. Just describe its feet. And then work your way up and see what the being is wearing. That's it. Do you recognize the being? How do you feel about the being? Remember and ingest. Breathe them in, her in. Make it part of you, and exhale. Next, recall or imagine a color off to your right. What color do you imagine? How does it feel? Do you hear anything? Taste anything? Feel the sense of touch of anything? Smell anything? And lastly, see anything? Any object, place, being, or nothing at all? Or perhaps a being? Start imagining what the being's feet look like. Knees, whole body, hair color, what they're wearing. Do you recognize them? Do they feel familiar? This being is here to bless you. Breathe in, let it become you, and breathe out. Remember. Next, imagine the color to your back. Do not be afraid of dark or frightening colors. Sometimes a being will appear that way because they quote unquote have your back. They are a protective force. Just imagine what you imagine. Imagine a being in your back right. What color do you imagine? What does it feel like? Now get deeper. And check your senses. Do you smell, taste, hear, feel as in touching, or see anything? Anything at all, including nothing. Let the color fade. Start at the bottom and work up and see your being. See the feet, see the legs, the clothes, the body, the hair, the arms, the radiance, the color. Just let your imagination run wild. If you don't see anything, again, that's fine. Just check into your feelings right now. This being is here to help you. Breathe it in, make it part of you, and breathe it out. And remember, know that these beings have come to offer themselves to work with you. We're going to remember the being on our back, right across from us in the right, and right in front of us. Now recall our back left, straight across from us at the left, and left front. Recall the beings and colors. This is your pantheon. These beings are offering to work with you. Take them whenever you want. When you need the energy or the feeling, let's say, of the being in your front left, know that he, she is with you, and that you can access, communicate, and download their powerful energy anytime. remember. And we're going to recall being at the beach, feeling the sun on our back, feeling the waves, the light, cool, watery, feeling in the water, in the air, in the waves going in and out, people talking, kids playing. I'm going to count backwards from 3 to 1. When I get to 1, we'll be back in normal waking consciousness. 3, feeling better than before, remembering. 2, getting close into the room, back into normal waking consciousness. 1, open your eyes. Here we are. How beautiful. Now I'd like you to stop the tape, write down your colors, write down anything at all that you received. This is a beautiful way to work with ascended masters and angels. A couple of things. You might want to notice by using Sherry's chart, which emotional issues you're working with, the beings that presented themselves or the colors that you imagined will represent at this particular time what your lessons and priorities are in terms of frequencies and colors. You might note if any of these are your favorite colors. For those of you who are musicians, do you have any chords like C, E, G, a C chord? You might want to wear these colors, surround yourself with these colors, visualize them. You can download a chromatic tuner for free on your phone or find the same thing online. You can hum their notes. You can call them by name and they will be with you. Higher beings communicate with you in many ways. Once you know who you're working with through this whole variety of ways that you can choose, they can communicate with you through clairvoyance and clairaudience. Pay attention to your imagination. What you're imagining is often the beginning of clairvoyance or clairaudience. Notice what colors and frequencies you like, other people's suggestions. Sometimes numbers, master numbers, like 3 of the same number, 111 or 222. When you notice them, it's often an angel or a master getting your attention. You can use angel cards, automatic writing, channeling. Sometimes angels will disguise themselves as real people. And I've known of people that have met angels. It does happen. Think of your coincidences as not being coincidences, but being things arranged for you. Your dreams, what you tend to think on, miracles in your life. These are ways angels and masters communicate back. Once you get used to the feeling of a master, like in that meditation, learn to recognize it. Simply redoing the meditation, seeing the same colors, and recognizing that same feeling will allow you to recognize when that angel or being is trying to get your attention. At that point in time, just pay attention to what you're thinking, feeling, what opportunity is around you, and there's your message. You can ask these beings for help. They evolve when you evolve. Many people think, oh, I don't want to bug them for such little things. They evolve by helping you. Can you imagine how boring it would be waiting on you to ask? And that's what they do. And often, if they offer and you turn them down, they don't offer again for a long time. So when you get a nudge from an angel or a master, act on it. Like use it or lose it. When you ask for their presence, you're desiring of them, thinking of them, imagining them, feeling of them, associating with a color or note. It's like a pager. They want to help you. They evolve by helping you. It's a win-win. You can sing their names, and it's much more powerful to contact and communicate with masters in numbers. Another thing to do is on my Angels and Master CD, I have a garden of music in the key signature of each color. So like music of pink, music of orange, etc. Then I channel the masters and angels, and their energy records. So if I channel a being and you go back to that recording, you can feel it. So if I channel, which I've done in many of these lessons, you can pick up the energy of the being I'm channeling. It records. And you can get used to what the angels of orange feel like and yellow. And again, it's another tool, very powerful one, to recognize their energy, to use the energy when you need it. When you're in a situation that calls for action, go to a pink master, etc. When you're doing science, perhaps call in the orange masters. Okay, let me see. Another thing you can do is that energy travels in through you. It also travels out of you. If somebody needs healing or needs personal qualities, like if somebody is terribly upset and you want to calm them down, when you touch them, imagine blue coming from your hand. If you can, you might want to wear blue or surround the upset person with blue or sing the musical note G. These are some tools that you can use. The saints, who were the group in which Jesus was raised, talk about communicating with angels and masters at different times during the day. They suggest that dawn and dusk are the best times to get the clearest transmission. Not that you can't at other times, it's just that kind of amplifies it a little bit. Let me see. I think we're going to pause here and come back for a little more. So blessings, and we'll be back soon.